Hi, so I came on air to go live. I was all ready for it, I'd sat here and I was ready to go live and break the ice because I'm going to do this. I am. I've been thinking about it for a little while and I think it would be good to do some live stuff maybe at photo shoots. The thing I'm trying to work out is how I can do it so that it's not boring to watch if you can't hear what I'm saying and what the person that I'm shooting is saying, but the person that I'm shooting might not want to be wearing a microphone. So there's these things that I'm not sure about, but I think I'm just gonna go in and just go for it one day, like sort of spur the moment. So my birthday's coming up, so I kind of feel like I want you guys to be there. That's really silly, isn't it? It's not silly because you've been a big support for me. So by the time this video goes out, I either would have or not have gone live on my birthday celebrations at some point. So I can't go live today because you need 24 hours permission. So I've requested permission. So I should be live maybe on my birthday. This light is really dodgy. I need to sort that out. If I go live, it's going to be unedited. I cannot cut any crap out. I can't cut the bits out where my eyes look old. I can't cut out funny faces. I'm not going to be able to cut out any funny faces that I make when I'm recording. You're going to see my funny faces. Oh my God. It'd be good to just put the camera on and leave it running so you can see what I'm doing in the shoot. Do you see what I mean? And you could just have it on in the background while you're doing other work. And yeah, it could be good. So look out for that. So what did I want to talk about today? I've had some lovely comments actually, and I thought maybe quite a nice way of responding to comments would be in video form like this. Yeah, this is really nice. Real Nikon Lover, his channel is called. So Jim. So hi Jim. Thank you for your comment on my PTSD Nikon D3 photo reel, because I do like to keep my channel real, and it's not just about photography, it's kind of about life as well and how it all fits in together, doesn't it? So I like to tether that into my channel. So I really appreciated your comment. And yeah, I was really interested to learn that you were a firefighter like me. Were you whole time? Because I was retained. There was a bit of a divide between whole time and retained. It was a bit of a shame really, but I loved it when whole time came on station because I always learned so much from them, and they always seemed like really positive, upbeat people. That's what I liked about that. So yeah, so PTSD for you from that from that work, I can relate to that. I think mine's different though. I don't feel I have PTSD from those, particularly from working as a firefighter, not as in going into any shouts that were really upsetting or traumatic or scary. Oh, apart from a wasp nest. It sounds really silly. The scariest shout I think I had was a wasp nest in a loft, and it was really, really dark. And I got into the loft and they said, it was a chimney fire. And they said, oh, Claire, can you go in the loft and just check the chimney at the end to see if it's hot up in the loft, at the end of the loft. So they said, oh, don't worry about your tunic and your helmet. You can leave that here. So, I just have my t-shirt on and my funky braces and the trousers, So I get up into the loft and I'm like crawling along and it's dark. There's no lights up there. It's pitch black. And I'm like crawling along in the loft and it's kind of getting narrower and narrower. And I could just see like at the end, I could just see where I needed to be, this chimney breast. And luckily I stopped, right? Because I just thought, I'm just going to stop and see where I am. So I stopped, got my torch out and shone it, and I was like literally that close to this really intricate pattern, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, what is that? And it's like this honeycomb pattern, and I sort of got a bit further back, and oh my life, it was like the biggest wasp nest I have ever seen in my life. It was like the size of my gym ball. It was massive. I've never moved so fast. I've always been a bit scared of wasps as a child I was. So I literally turned around and just scrambled out of this loft and nearly fell out. It was funny, really, looking back. But at the time, it was quite scary. But that is literally the scariest memory that really got me, I think. Because even when I fell through the floor, there was one shout when I fell through the floor, and that didn't scare me. I just found it... I was having so much fun on that shout because we couldn't find the fire, and we're going around this room and it was really, really smoky, like so smoke logged that you couldn't see your hand in front of your face, right? And I was just going along thinking, yeah, this is what I did the training for, you know, is moments like this. This is why I joined the fire service. This is ace. And I remember going around the room and I was with my mate Danny, and I was sort of like holding onto the wall as you do and trying to walk on the joists, and the floor just gave way because we couldn't find the fire, right? And then the floor gave way and the fire was underneath the floor, so I fell into this void, like just deep enough that I couldn't get out. And I was like, Danny, I found the fire, it's down here. It was under the floor with me. So I put it out, and then I was trying to get out of this hole under the floor. And every time I pushed up to get out and sat on the bit to try and climb out, it just gave way again and gave way and gave way. And then when I finally did get out, I sat on this piece of metal, which was boiling hot, and burnt my bum. So, yes, my colleague had to give me a bit of a damping down. Great fun. But yeah, so I did actually develop this phobia of repeating shapes, and particularly honeycombs. So if you showed me a picture of what's that thing, the Eden Project, is it called? Where there's all those domes with like honeycomb shape. If you showed me a picture of that, I would completely freak out. And I always have wondered if that comes from that time in the loft with the wasp nest. But yeah, I noticed something the other day, and so I've gone through this bout of PTSD and I've sort of just been coming out of it, and I noticed something that I feel is really key for next time. So it was only like last night, something happened that absolutely was a PTSD trigger for me, like really, really. And normally I think I would go into that place again of the trauma response. But last night, so fascinating, and I thought I just wanted to share it because when it happened, because I've just come out of this bout of PTSD, which I feel crept up on me a little bit, you know, I really think like PTSD is really sneaky. Like something will happen and it might be a body memory, it might be something you don't even recognise has triggered you. So when it sneaks up and you don't necessarily know the trigger, it's kind of hard. I feel like you fall into that trauma response, and maybe it plays out in just you know, pushing people away or being irritable or feeling angry or wanting to get away, wanting to just be on your own. You might have anxiety, palpitations, and you know, but it might be a day or so in and you might be thinking, well, why am I feeling like this? And then like what happened to me with this recent episode is I felt cross with myself for not coping, because I was thinking, why, you know, I didn't realise that it was PTSD. And so I went into beating myself up. But when you recognise it really quickly, you can really have compassion for yourself, because you know, oh, PTSD, it's not an easy thing to cope with, you know. And so you've got your strategies there and you can just sort of jump right into them. But last night I really noticed, because this thing had happened shortly after me coming out of PTSD, I noticed my thought process, because it happened and I thought, oh great, like I've just come out of a bout of PTSD. This is totally gonna trigger it again. Like, this is so linked to the past. Trauma's in the past. It can't not, right? And then I thought, no, I'm not doing that again. I'm not having another 2 weeks or 3 weeks like I just had. And it was such a conscious decision. On the spot, I was like, right, I can choose to focus on this, or I can choose to focus elsewhere. And I will look out for signs and symptoms of PTSD playing out, and I will like nip it in the bud before it really takes hold. Do you see what I mean? So because I had this conscious awareness, I knew the trigger, I knew it was a trigger, I knew the potential consequences of that, and I knew that I could focus, I could dwell on the thoughts of what had happened, or I could divert my attention somewhere else, which kind of links into what Jim is saying in his comment. The best way I've found to escape the demons is to bury myself in some physical work or undertaking. So yeah, it's so true. Like, distraction is one of the best ways I've found to divert the attention and not dwell on stuff. So yeah, I wanted to share that, and all the comments, it's so lovely to read them, honestly. There's another one from Friend for the Artists. I love reading your comments. They're always so lovely and supportive, so thank you. And it's really interesting that you've said don't ever stage stuff. So yeah, part of my sort of apprehension about going live is you are going to see me warts and all, and that is out of my comfort zone, because I can't cut bits out where I sound like a total douchebag and I've said something technically completely wrong. But like you say in your comment, thank you very much, I do want to keep it real, and it is those little mishaps and funny things that happen that you don't cut out that probably make it maybe a bit more fun. So yeah, look out for some live coming up soon, and I look forward to talking more about life, and I appreciate you guys welcoming that, because it's a real passion of mine, is to make sense of life through photography, but just through chatting away. I was only saying to my brother yesterday, working for yourself can be so lonely. You can have long days at home on your own. And I said to him, sometimes I get the camera out and start talking away to my subscribers, because it feels like a little bit of company, it feels like you're here with me. So I appreciate having someone to talk to. So sometimes I will rabbit on and on and on and not shut up. So thank you to everyone this resonates with, and can't wait to do more. See you soon. Bye.